Hi, Olivia. I'm so glad you could make it to our housewarming party today. It means a lot to me that you came.
Thanks for having me. I loved all the delicious food. You have to share your secrets with me next time. Everything was so tasty.
Well, I ordered the food from 3 different places nearby. I'll let you know which ones when you visit again. I'm happy that you enjoyed the food.
My husband is a big fan of chicken, so he was thrilled too. He couldn't stop raving about the fried chicken and wings. The only issue was that there wasn't enough food, in my opinion. I know that most of your family are light eaters, so you probably thought that it would be sufficient. But my husband is still young and hungry. It would have been nice if you had considered that and prepared more meat dishes. I felt a bit let down by you for that.
I guess I did make a lot of vegetarian dishes. I didn't realize that he would just devour all the meat.
He is very young after all. Why didn't you prepare more meat dishes?
That was because I know that your parents prefer seafood over meat. And I only found out that you were coming this morning. I didn't have enough time to prepare. I'm sorry if he wasn't satisfied with the food.
It's fine. I'll just take your huge house as compensation then.
What are you saying?
The house that you built wasn't as bad as I expected. I didn't have high hopes before seeing it, but it was actually pretty nice. We decided that we want your new house.
I'm sorry, but I'm totally confused. You want my house? You know that's not how it works, right? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. I'm seriously asking you to give us the house.
I don't understand why you think that we would give you our house. We spent a lot of time planning and designing it. It's our dream house. Why would we just hand over our dream house that we just built?
Are you kidding me? You're so selfish. I didn't think you were like that. I'm disappointed in you. I thought you were nice.
Did you just call me selfish? I don't think that's fair at all. It's very unreasonable to ask someone to give you their house. I can't believe you have the nerve to ask.
Is it though? That house belongs to my brother, right? Ever since we were kids, he would always give me anything I wanted. We have a great relationship and he's very generous to me. I thought he would give me his house too if I asked nicely. You're doing the same thing as me, right? You only married him because he's rich and spoils you with anything you want.
So this is not a joke. Are you really an adult? You sound like a spoiled child. You don't go around stealing things from other people, do you?
Of course not. That's illegal. Are you dumb?
What you're doing right now is almost the same thing. You can't expect to get whatever you want just because you ask nicely for it. It doesn't matter if it's your brother's property. You can't just demand his house and expect him to give it to you.
Of course I can ask for his stuff. He's my big brother.
How can you not see how crazy this is?
It's not crazy. I just want something from my brother and I'm asking him politely for it. Me and Noah have already decided that we're moving into your place. Can you please pack up your things and move out?
Sorry, but that is not going to happen.
Why are you being so difficult about this?
I don't want to talk to you anymore because you don't listen to what I'm saying. If you want to talk about this, then contact him directly, okay? I've got to go now.
I didn't think you were this stingy. You need to be nicer to me. If he finds out about this, he's going to divorce you. I don't care about you anymore. I'm going to go and ask him about this directly. I hope that he divorces a gold digger like you.
Hi, Janet. I appreciate all the food you made for us today. It was all very yummy. It's Noah, by the way, Olivia's husband. She gave me your number and that's why I'm texting you.
Good evening, Noah.
I'm sure she already told you, but she really wants your new house that you just built.
You know how crazy that is, right? Can you please talk some sense into her? She was acting like it was a normal thing to ask for.
I don't think she's doing anything wrong. She asked her brother about it too and he said no. She's sobbing in bed right now because you guys won't give her what she wants.
I hope you understand that we can't just give away our house. We worked hard to plan and design it and paid a lot of money to build it. It's our dream house and we're not giving it up.
It may be your dream house, but we love it too. Can't you just think about giving it to us for free?
Are you serious? You're saying the same thing as her. You guys are both nuts. I see why you married each other now.
It's actually perfect timing for you guys to give us your house. Our lease for our current place ends at the end of the month. Instead of renewing it, we want to move into your house. There's so much more room in your house. We think we would enjoy living in a house rather than an apartment from next month.
Why don't you guys get your own house then? You can design the house from scratch so that it suits you perfectly.
That's too much hassle and too expensive.
Yeah, houses do take a lot of effort and money to build. That's why I'm not handing mine over to you.
We actually thought about building our own house too. We hired a planner and went through the process of choosing the location and the design. It was really fun and we were so excited for our house until they showed us the price. We realized that we couldn't afford it with our salaries.
You could have gone for something smaller or further away from the city center. It would make it cheaper.
That's not an option. We want to live in a house that is as big as yours. And the location where you built your house is amazing. It would make our commute to work so much easier. Can't you please consider letting us have it?
I've already said no so many times. Stop repeating yourself.
You're older than us, so you should help us out. Stop being so greedy.
It doesn't matter if I'm older than you. I don't owe you anything.
Then, can you please get a divorce then?
Why should I get divorced?
I just talked with Olivia about what we should do. We realized that if you get divorced and leave the house, then we can move in.
How did you come up with that idea?
Well, your husband is very busy with work all the time and doesn't come home very often. He goes on business trips a lot too. We decided that we would move in with him and help him take care of the house. We can do some cleaning once in a while. It would benefit all of us if we live together. But for that to happen, we need you out of the picture.
I am not getting a divorce. End of story.
She told me that once you get divorced and leave, her brother would welcome us to live with him.
There's no way he would agree to that. He already told her that she couldn't have this house.
Don't you see that everything would be sold if you leave? Stop being so selfish and get a divorce so we can all be happy.
You guys are both insane. I'm sorry, but I have no intention of giving you guys the house or getting a divorce. If you guys keep making such ridiculous demands, I'm going to block you both. I don't want to deal with crazy people.
Wait, are you really going to block us? She was telling me that you were a stingy woman. I agree with her completely. And your personality sucks. Why are you not replying now? Are you seriously ignoring me? You're just a gold digger who married him for his money. Hurry up and get divorced so we can be happy.
Get out, now!
You still haven't given up? How many times do I have to repeat this? I'm not leaving the house and I'm not giving it away either. I'm definitely not getting a divorce, so quit asking me.
You guys have gotten divorced already. Hurry up and get out of the house.
What are you talking about? We haven't gotten a divorce. Stop lying to me.
Actually, you guys are officially divorced. Me and Noah filled in the divorce papers for you guys. We faked the signature and then handed it in.
Are you serious? How could you do that? That is taking it way too far. Do you know how much trouble you guys are in for doing that?
Yeah, whatever. Stop making empty threats. I know that we're not in any trouble. Would you hurry up and move out of the house now that you're divorced? You're a complete stranger to my brother now. I'm sure that he'd prefer that you move out so that we can move in. We're a family after all. The three of us are going to live together without you.
You really are crazy. Getting us divorced by faking our signatures is definitely a crime. You're going to have to go to prison if I report you to the police for this.
Stop joking around. Also, this is all your fault for refusing to accept our request. You should have moved out of the house when we asked you to.
Do you not realize how selfish you are by doing this? Also, now is not a good time for you to be doing this to us.
Yeah, I know. Enjoy your last vacation with him.
We're on our honeymoon right now. I was really excited for this trip because we had planned it for over a year now. We couldn't go on our honeymoon right after we got married because we were so busy. We finally managed to get an extended holiday together. We literally just left for our trip this morning. How am I meant to enjoy my honeymoon with you doing this to me?
We should finish moving into the house by the time you guys get back. You don't need to worry about us at all.
Are you serious? I can't trust you at all.
You should try to enjoy your first and last vacation that you're going to have with my brother. It must be a little awkward going on vacation with your ex-husband. I hope you guys have fun, though.
I can't believe what you've done. We're just about to get on our flight as well. I don't have the time to figure out what to do. I'm not even sure if we should get on this flight with you trying to steal our home.
Sorry, but I've got to go now. We have to start packing all our things before the moving truck comes to our place. Don't forget to buy souvenirs, okay? Goodbye, and enjoy your vacation.
Wait, don't go! This is not okay at all! Olivia, answer me now. Where the hell are you? What is going on? You guys have a lot of explaining to do.
Did you guys come back already? Welcome back. You bought me a lot of souvenirs, right? I can't wait to see what you got for me.
That's not important at all. Would you explain what happened to our house? Why are all your belongings inside? Also, where is my stuff? I don't see any of my belongings anywhere.
You got divorced with my brother and became a complete stranger to us. We didn't want a stranger's belongings in the house, so we transported it all to a nearby storage unit. You should be really grateful that we didn't just throw it all out. I'll give you the details for the storage unit so you can go get your belongings.
You've got to be kidding me! How did you guys even get inside in the first place? I thought I locked the door when I left.
We had a spare key made. That's why we were able to get inside.
When did you guys manage to do that?
We got the spare key made when we came over for the housewarming party. Remember how Noah had to leave for a while? That's when he ran to the key shop and got the spare key made. We fell in love with your house on that day and decided to take action.
So you guys have planned this from that long ago?
Yep, we had it all planned out. I made sure to check how you unlocked the front gate with the security code.
You guys intended on stealing the house from the start. I can't believe a family member would do such a thing.
We're not family anymore. You got divorced, remember? You were my sister-in-law for a very short amount of time. This is no longer your house, so please give up. You can't come in without my permission.
Where are you guys right now?
We're out to eat at a fancy French restaurant. There was some cash left out on the table, so we're using that money.
You're just making this worse for yourself. How many crimes have you committed now? Forgery, trespassing, theft? The list goes on and on.
Stop making those empty threats. We haven't done anything wrong. The starter just arrived, so we're going to enjoy our full-course dinner. I think that we're going to be back in around 2 hours. Would you be able to leave my souvenirs on the table and then get out of my house? My brother is the owner of the house, so he can stay.
I've realized that there's no point in trying to solve this by talking to you. I'm going to have to take some legal action now. You're really going to regret all this.
I think that you're the one that's full of regrets. If you had just left the house when I first asked, none of this would have happened. You're no longer married to him, so get out of the house, you stranger!
Actually, you're the one that's getting kicked out. The house is in my name. It's my property.
Wait, what did you just say? The house is in your name? You're not serious, right?
I am dead serious. I was the one that signed the paperwork to get the house constructed. The house is in my name.
What are you talking about?
I guess you weren't listening to anything that we told you at the housewarming party. We explained everything about the house, including whose name it was under. I guess that you guys were too busy planning how to steal the house and weren't listening at all.
You're just making all this up, right? The house is definitely in my brother's name. He's the husband, after all. It just makes so much more sense for it to be in his name.
Actually, it doesn't. The house was built on a plot of land that belonged to my grandfather. He was kind enough to give me the plot of land and the house that was built there. I was using the house to host a couple of rooms through Airbnb and earning some money on the side. Unfortunately, the building was old and I decided to get it taken down. We used the empty plot of land to build our new house on.
I didn't know about any of that.
So now you know. The land that house is built on is mine.
What about the house then?
The house is mine as well. I paid for most of it with the money that I earned on the side through hosting on Airbnb.
You're lying. That house is meant to be my brother's.
I'm not lying at all. The interior is really expensive, and I couldn't afford it by myself, so he helped me out. I guess the house is partly his property too. He also pays for all our living expenses these days, so I'm grateful for that.
So you're really telling me that the owner of the house is just you?
Yeah, I'm the only owner. I'm going to have to dispose of all the foreign things that somehow came into the house.
Wait, that's all our belongings.
I'm going to be kind and get it all taken to a nearby storage. You can go and collect it later by yourselves.
Please don't do that. Let's talk about this and find a solution that works for both of us. We have no place to go if you kick us out. We moved out of our old apartment completely.
That's not my problem at all. You guys can go and find a new place to live. I didn't ask you guys to move in with us. You trespassed on my property, and that's why I'm kicking you out.
Wait, there's something that I need to tell you. Noah was the one that planned all this. He forced me to help him out.
So you were forced into helping?
I told him that I loved your new house when I first saw it. I don't know why, but he told me that we should steal it. That's when he started planning this all out. You guys were telling us about your honeymoon at the housewarming party. He told me that it would be the perfect time to move into your house.
I see. What are you trying to tell me?
I did absolutely nothing wrong. He was the one that did all this to you.
I don't care which one of you planned this all out. You guys both played a part, and I don't intend on forgiving either of you. I've already told your parents about what you did, and they are furious. Your brother no longer wants to talk to you, and he is saying that he is going to cut ties with you completely.
He's cutting ties with me? Does that mean I can't see him ever again?
Pretty much. We don't want to have any connection with you guys at all. I'm also going to report everything that happened to the police as well.
Please don't report me to the police. I'm your sister-in-law. I don't want to go to prison.
What do you want me to do then?
I don't know.
Your entire family is planning to cut all ties with you. You're not going to have anyone that you can depend on. I suggest you start by apologizing to me and showing me that you feel sorry for what you did. If you're really sorry, then you should be here moving all your belongings out of my house. Don't make me do it. Also, pay me back the money that you stole from the table.
But we don't have anywhere to move our belongings to. We also have no money saved up.
I thought that you guys both worked full-time. How could you not have any savings?
I actually quit my job because we managed to get a house to live in. I'm a housewife now.
I can't believe it. You didn't get a house, you stole it. It hasn't even been a month and you quit your job already?
I just thought of a great idea. Please let me live here and I'll do all the housework for you. I'll also tell him to pay you guys $500 a month for our living expenses if you let us live here.
I have no trouble doing all the housework myself, so I don't need you. You would just get in my way. Also, there's no way I'm going to let you guys both live here for a measly $500. You guys committed multiple crimes within the span of a few days. I can't trust you guys at all.
We really have nowhere to go, though. Let us live here.
No, that's not going to happen. You guys have a spare key for the house, so I'm changing all the locks right now. I no longer want to talk to you anymore, so my husband will be contacting you at a later date. There's still a lot of things that have to be solved. I've got to go now, so goodbye.
Wait, please, don't go. Your house is way too big for just 2 people. Please, let's all live together. We promise that we won't cause you any more trouble ever again.
Olivia is in tears because of you. You're supposed to be her sister-in-law. How can you be so cruel to her?
Actually, I'm not her sister-in-law anymore, thanks to the fake divorce papers that you guys made. She's a stranger to me now. I don't care if she's crying.
I guess that's true, but it was a forgery. You're not really divorced.
I heard that you were the mastermind behind this. You were the one who faked the signatures, made the spare key, and moved all my stuff out of my house.
I had to do that because you wouldn't give us the house when we asked nicely.
Who in their right mind would agree to such a ridiculous request? I'm sorry, but I'm reporting you guys to the police. I'm also hiring a lawyer and suing you guys. Be ready to pay a huge amount of money to me for all the damage that you caused. I have a lot of money, so I'm getting the best lawyer in town. You guys better watch out.
Are you really involving the police and a lawyer? We didn't do anything that bad.
I'm doing the right thing by reporting this. Do you have any idea how many crimes you committed? Let me see. You forged our signatures and filed fake divorce papers. You made a spare key to our house without our consent. Then you trespassed into my house and removed all my belongings. And to top it all off, you stole money that was on the table and spent it all. I'm sure there are more crimes that will come up when we dig deeper.
Wait, please don't report me to the police. If that happens, I'll lose my job.
You deserve to lose your job for what you did. Nobody wants a criminal on their payroll. Why did you go along with this plan when you knew the risks?
I knew it was wrong, but she said it was okay to do it to our family members.
A crime doesn't become okay when it's done to a family member. Also, most people would never even think of doing something like that to their family. Don't you realize how much time and effort we put into building our house? You guys also tried to break up our marriage without us knowing. That's what makes me the most furious.
Okay, I admit that we were wrong. We'll do whatever you want us to do, so please don't tell the police. I'll start looking for a new place to move into right now. Can we leave our stuff there for a little while longer? If I lose my job, I won't be able to afford a new place.
You guys didn't get our permission when you filed the divorce papers, did you? So I'll do the same. I won't ask for your permission to go to the police. I won't forgive you guys no matter how much you apologize. Please don't contact me ever again. I'm also going to ask the police for a restraining order against both of you. You guys can never come near me again, okay?
You can't do this to us. She quit her job recently, so we don't have any money to deal with this.
That's not my problem. She can find another job and start earning again. I'm going now, so don't bother me again, okay? If you need to talk to me, talk to my lawyer instead. He'll send you a message later this week.
Please don't report me to the police. I didn't do anything wrong. She forced me to do all this. I'll listen to anything you say, so please don't go to the police. Don't ruin my life completely. My life is already falling apart before my eyes.
You're unbelievable. How can you say that after you tried to ruin my life completely? After that, we talked to a lawyer about what had happened, and he told us that we were pretty much guaranteed to win the case. We managed to get paid for all the damages that they had caused to us, including the cleaning fees and fees for replacing the keys to our house. They have managed to damage a lot of the interior while moving in their belongings, so we charged them for that as well. We also filed a report to the police, and the two of them were arrested. Noah was fired from his company immediately after the arrest. They both managed to avoid having to go to prison, however, they both have a criminal record now. They could not pay the money that we demanded from them, so they had to borrow a huge amount of money from the bank to pay us back. Currently, they are both working multiple part-time jobs to try to pay back the money they owe.
Hey Natalie, has my son filled you in on the details yet? I told him to relay my message to you.
May I ask, what exactly was Elias supposed to talk to me about?
What else? About the awesome family vacation we've got lined up for next month? I can already feel it's gonna be an absolute blast and make some unforgettable memories.
Oh yes, I know about the trip. In fact, I was there when our whole family discussed about it. Do you remember? So, we're all heading to Charleston, South Carolina, right? I'm genuinely excited about it and can't wait for the trip. It's gonna be such a wonderful time with the whole family together.
Why are you so enthusiastic about the vacation? Hold on. Please don't tell me you're also considering joining me and my family on this trip.
That was the initial plan, wasn't it? It's you, Elias, and his family, along with you and your husband, all joining the trip. That's what we all agreed upon, right?
Hey, listen, I don't know where you got that idea, but you're not tagging along with us, Natalie. Let's keep this under wraps, alright? If my son finds out, he'll go off on me like last time. That's why I'm only discussing this with you in private. I hope you get where I'm coming from.
What? But isn't this supposed to be a family trip? And if that's the case, why can't I come along with you and the rest of our family?
Look, I'm gonna be real with you, okay? My husband and I are not getting any younger, and we want to make the most of these family trips while we still can. That's why it's important for me to have my immediate family around me for as long as possible. And when I say family, I just want my husband, my dear son, my daughter, and her kids. To put it simply, I want to be surrounded by those who share the same blood as me.
So, let me get this straight. You're saying that Anna's husband and I aren't welcome to join you in the family trip? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That's right. I'm glad you caught on to the situation so fast.
But don't you think it's a bit unfair to us? I mean, Anna's husband and I are already married into your family, so we're also part of the family, you know? Plus, I've already gone ahead and made hotel reservations for our entire family. It's this charming boutique hotel called the Enchanted Haven, and I'm confident you'll love it once you see it.
What? You've already gone ahead and booked the hotels? Who gave you the authority to do that? How dare you go behind my back and pull such a sneaky move?
Don't you remember, Kimberly? We had a family gathering just last week, specifically to discuss our vacation plans. And we all agreed that I should be the one responsible for making the hotel reservations. So that's exactly what I did.
But that was last week and a lot has changed since then. I've made a new decision and I've decided that I won't let anyone outside of my family join this trip. After all, isn't the term family trip supposed to mean just that? It's exclusively for those within my family, not outsiders like you and Anna's husband.
Honestly, I'm confident that my husband, as well as your husband, wouldn't agree with this. I'm pretty sure they would say no to the idea of leaving anyone in our family behind, including me and Anna's husband. Family should stick together, right?
So here's the deal. You gotta play the role of the good daughter-in-law and keep mum about it. No need to spill all the beans that I'm the one who doesn't want you to come along to our vacation trip. Just say you're tied up with something or have other plans. I trust you're clever enough to come up with a little lie, right? It's not rocket science, if you really put your mind to it.
Wait, hold on a second. Why are you asking me to lie? That's just not who I am, you know? We all understand that lying isn't a good thing to do to anyone. Don't you agree? Plus, I know for a fact that my husband would be really disappointed if I couldn't go on the vacation with him and the rest of our family. And let's not forget Anna. I'm pretty sure she'd be upset if her husband suddenly decided not to join the trip too. Let's be honest and consider everyone's feelings here.
Hey, why are you always so negative? Let's try to look at the bright side for once, okay? If you and Anna's husband skip the trip, we can save a lot of money. That means our expenses will be way lower, which is a pretty sweet deal, right? And think about it. My family will be way more relaxed and comfortable without any outsiders to bother them. It's all about creating a cozy and peaceful atmosphere, you know?
But, Kimberly, Elias and I have been married for more than 10 years now. That's a significant amount of time, you know. Don't you think it makes me a part of the family by now?
No matter if it's been 10 years or even 20 years, the truth is, you're still a stranger to me. No matter how much you try, I just can't bring myself to see you as a part of my family. But don't be too downhearted. That's just how it goes when you're a wife and daughter-in-law. It's the reality we're dealing with, so you better start getting used to it. Look, you still get invited to all the major family events like weddings and birthdays and stuff. Isn't that good enough for you? What more do you even want?
Well, I guess. What about the hotel reservations? Should I cancel all of them?
Well, no need to worry, silly. Just go ahead and cancel the hotel reservations for 2 people, alright? You know, you and Anna's husband.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's my good daughter-in-law. If only you'd decided to stay home from the start, I wouldn't have had to spend my precious time convincing you like this. Oh, and here's a little heads up. Don't you even think about going behind my back and telling Elias that I didn't want you to join our family on this trip. Got it? If you want to go ahead and do that, you'll just be painting me as the evil mother-in-law, you know?
Well, I'll think about it.
Honestly, Elias keeps nagging me about how I should treat you better. But here's the thing. I'm always the one making an effort to politely ask you to stay away from my family. I just don't understand it, you know? Maybe it's because you've been telling my son behind his back that I'm some horrible mother-in-law who bullies her daughter-in-law. That's the only explanation I can think of.
What are you talking about? I would never say anything negative about you to anyone behind your back.
All right. If that's how you want it, I'll drop the subject, but let me make one thing clear. Don't even consider running to your husband and complaining about all this. I swear, if he calls me one more time whining about how I treat you, I'll have a serious problem with you. You should really grasp the fact that you're an outsider by now. You see, I reserve kindness and respect for those who are connected to me by blood. Since we're not related, you don't get a single drop of kindness or respect from me. Hey, Natalie, can we chat for a sec? I want to talk to you about something. It's regarding those hotel reservations you made for my family.
Yes, Kimberly? What about that? I'm listening to you.
Hey, listen up. I think you'll have to cancel those reservations you made for my family.
Oh? Why so?
You know, I went ahead and booked rooms at another hotel instead. Here's the thing. I did some digging and found that the hotel you picked just isn't the right fit for me. I mean, come on. Didn't you do any research at all? It's this tiny, old, and downright unattractive place with shoddy amenities. Honestly, why on earth would you expect me to stay in that dump? It's even less comfortable than a pig farm, if you ask me.
Well, just to clarify, it's actually a 4-star hotel with fancy custom-made furnishings, a rooftop bar and pool, a spa, and a restaurant with a brasserie-style vibe. But no worries, I've already taken care of everything and canceled the reservation since I won't be going anyway.
How could you even suggest something as ridiculous as me staying in a cheap, dilapidated 4-star hotel? Didn't you forget? I'm your mother-in-law, and I deserve nothing but the absolute best. Listen, I stumbled upon this incredible 5-star resort called Azure Haven Resort and Spa. It's got some top-notch spa treatments and mouth-watering culinary delights. That's why I went ahead and made reservations at that hotel. And guess what? I put your name and number under the reservations instead.
Wait, you did what? Why on earth would you go ahead and do that? You totally caught me off guard with this unexpected move.
Yep, you heard me right. And since you're the one who made the reservation, you're also expected to cover all the expenses. But don't worry, it's not too much of a big deal, my dear. It's just a mere $1,500 per night. No sweat, right?
What? $1,500 per night? That's insanely expensive, Kimberly. I don't think I can handle such a hefty price tag.
Oh, I totally forgot to mention. It's actually $1,500 per night for each person. And guess what? We have a grand total of 7 people. Me, my husband, your husband, my daughter, and her 3 kids. So, you do the math. I think they might have some sort of discount for kids, but I can't say for sure. Anyway, I kindly request that you take care of the entire accommodation expenses. We're counting on you, Natalie.
Wait, Kimberly, can we please have a conversation about this before jumping to any conclusions? I don't think it's fair to expect me to cover all the accommodation expenses for a trip that I'm not even allowed to be part of. Can we find a more equitable solution together?
What's with all the complaining? You're the outsider here, remember? If you really want to show that you're a valuable member of this family, then you better do as I say and cover the costs for the resort stay. Oh, and since you're the one handling the hotel expenses, why not fund the entire trip while you're at it? You know, meals, transportation, activities, attractions, and all that jazz. It would be best if you just send me the money and I'll take care of all those expenses on your behalf. So, how does that plan sound to you?
What? The entire trip? That's gonna be quite expensive, you know?
So what's the big deal? You're working, aren't you? I mean, you have a job and make your own money, so you should be able to afford the trip, right? Oh, and here's the thing. My whole family goes on this trip. No one will be home to look after the house for me. That's why I'm going to need you to stay at my place and keep an eye on things. Just make sure you clean the whole house and take care of the garden too. I want the entire house to be sparkling clean when I get back. All right, it's settled then. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go shopping for the upcoming trip. I'll catch up with you later.
Hold on a sec, Kimberly. We really need to have a talk about this. You can't just make all the decisions by yourself without considering everyone else's input. Hey there, Kimberly. I hope you're listening. Can you please respond to me?
Hey, Natalie, do you have any idea what day it is today? It's the day when my entire family heads out for a vacation trip together. Just a reminder, can you be super responsible as a daughter-in-law and keep an eye on the house while we're away? I want it to be spotless when my family returns. But hey, don't take it personally. It's just that you're not a blood relative, and that kind of makes you different from the rest of my family.
Listen, Kimberly, I'm really sorry. But I can make it over to watch the house for you right now. I've got a lot on my plate at the moment, and it's keeping me pretty busy.
What's going on? You're my daughter-in-law and you're married to my son. Your main responsibility is to take care of the house and serve your husband's parents. So don't you dare tell me that you're too busy or incapable of fulfilling those basic tasks.
To be honest, I'm not home right now. In fact, I'm already on a family vacation of my own.
Oh, really? And what kind of family vacation are you talking about? Last time I checked, you don't even have a family.
Why do you think I don't have a family, huh? Is it because you always manage to snatch away my so-called family from me? Come on, spill the beans. How many times have you schemed to mess with me and my hubby's relationship? Be honest, now. Do you secretly wish Elias would divorce me? Is that what you've been longing for all along?
What's with all this nonsense you're spouting? Cut it out with your twisted interpretations, okay? Are you trying to bully your own mother-in-law? Well, let me tell you something. I'm going straight to Elias and filling him in on this, and he better put you in your place for daring to speak so disrespectfully to me. I'll make sure you choke on those words like a sharp knife.
Oh, why do you think my accusations are baseless? Seriously? Did you conveniently forget about the time when my husband got sick and had to stay in the hospital? And the sneaky little trap you laid out for me?
Huh? What are you even blabbering about? Cut it out with your lies, because nobody's gonna fall for that nonsense.
So now you're acting clueless, huh? Well, let me refresh your memory about what actually went down. You claimed you'd cooked something decent for my husband, but you ended up torching it to a crisp, making it almost charcoal-like. And then, you had the audacity to tell my husband that it was the meal I made for him. As if that wasn't enough, you had the nerve to mock me, saying I wasn't good enough to be his wife just because I couldn't cook a decent meal. What was all that nonsense about?
What, are you seriously telling me you're still holding a grudge against me for that? It was just me trying to school you on how to act like a proper daughter-in-law, that's all.
Oh, so it was a lesson, huh? More like straight-up bullying and a display of your deep-seated hatred for me. Thankfully, I was clever enough to make you spill the beans. I had a little chat with you on the phone and put it on speaker, making sure my husband heard all about your wicked scheme.
You sly fox. I've been racking my brain wondering how in the world Elias found out the truth about who really cooked that meal. And now I know. It was you all along, wasn't it? You shamefully framed me for your own twisted satisfaction. I can't believe the lengths you went just to make me look bad.
Nah, Kimberly. I was just dishing out a little taste of your own medicine. And I'm pretty sure you remember what else you said during our lovely phone chat, right? You conveniently spat out that I was some kind of outsider who deserved to be treated like garbage. Don't even try to act like those horrible words just magically slip your mind.
Wait, seriously? You still got all those tiny details locked in your brain? Come on. How much more petty and vindictive can you get? Enough with holding on to all that resentment, man. Learn to let go already. It just makes you look small and even more pathetic if you ask me.
Let's just say it's a lesson I won't be forgetting anytime soon. It taught me not to trust a single thing you say or follow any of your instructions ever again. That's why I made up my mind to spill the beans to my husband about you pressuring me to stay home instead of joining the rest of the family on our vacation trip.
I clearly warned you not to breathe a word to Elias about that. How dare you have the audacity to go behind my back and pull off such a deceitful stunt? You've crossed the line and I won't let you get away with this.
Well, I had to do what I had to do to look out for myself. You put me in a spot where lying was my only way out. But that's not really my style, you know. Oh boy, you should have seen the look in Elias's face when I laid out the whole story to him. I swear, I could almost see steam coming out of his ears. He straight up told me he's super disappointed in you and that he never wants to talk to you again. Ouch, that's gotta sting.
Wait, what in the world are you blabbering about? Why in the universe would my son ever refuse to talk to me? You're just spouting nonsense, right? I know you're just cooking up some lies to split me and my son apart, aren't you? You won't succeed with your manipulative games.
Well, unfortunately for you, every single word I told you is true. In fact, Elias has already made up his mind and decided not to join you on the family vacation.
Hold up, he's not tagging along with me and the rest of my family? So where is he then? Wait a sec, don't tell me he's on a trip with you.
Yep, you got it. Elias is right here with me and my parents too. We're not in Charleston, South Carolina at the moment, so no need to stress about that. Actually, we decided to hit up a few European countries, because Elias managed to snag some serious time off from work. See, I've got more family than just yours, and I'm done trying to earn your recognition as a family member. If you want to treat me like a complete stranger, fine by me.
Whoa, hold your horses. A couple of European countries? Are you kidding me? Give my son back right now, I'm dead serious. He needs to go on this vacation trip with me and my family because, hello, he's my son and a part of our family. He should be by my side, not gallivanting around with some random stranger like you. I'm his mother, for crying out loud.
Hey, ever taken a moment to pause and consider if your own family actually enjoys having you around? Quit fooling yourself, thinking you're the be-all and end-all of the universe. Listen, your husband, son, and daughter have had it up to here with your selfishness and all about me attitude. Seriously, it's time to wake up and smell the coffee.
Oh please, my family adores having me around. No doubt about it. I mean, can you even find a woman who's more caring and loving than me? I'm like the epitome of an incredible wife and mother. The absolute best there is on this planet. And don't even get me started on all the food I've sent our son or the sweaters I've knitted for my loved ones. It's obvious I go above and beyond for my family.
Yeah, it's crystal clear what a hypocrite you are. Do you honestly believe your own family is cool with your blatant discrimination against me? You constantly dish out that passive-aggressive vibe, while always trying to show off your superiority and leaving me out of the most important family events. And why? Just to prove some point that I'm not part of the family, huh? Give me a break.
You ungrateful little brat. Don't you even think for a second that I'm clueless about you sneaking bites of the food I sent for my son, you thief. Cut the nonsense and hand my son back to me. Because I'm done playing games. No more joking around.
Well, here's a news flash for you. Not only Elias, but Anna and your husband also decided to stay home instead of tagging along on your so-called family trip. So, I hope you enjoy your grand adventure all by your lonesome, because nobody's gonna join you. Have a blast!
What kind of sick joke is this? How on earth did my entire family suddenly betray me like this? It's not fair at all. What have I done to deserve this? And you wicked witch! This is all you're doing. Get lost and stay out of our family business. You're nothing but an outsider and you don't belong here.
Oh, really? Now? Are you absolutely certain about that? Because I heard through the grapevine that your husband and daughter are planning to move out of the house real soon. That means you'll be flying solo, Kimberly. Just you and your lonesome self.
Oh no, this can't be real. What about the plane tickets I already paid for? And all the reservations I made? Natalie, please, I'm begging you. Help me convince my family to come back. Natalie? Are you there?
After learning that her entire family had chosen not to join her in the family trip, Kimberly decided to cancel all the reservations and flights, resulting in a significant financial loss. To make matters worse, her daughter and husband moved out of the house, leaving her alone. Despite the divorce, Kimberly's husband showed kindness by leaving the house to her and moving in with Anna's family instead. Kimberly pleaded with her family for forgiveness, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. They were completely fed up with her lies and deceitful behavior, to the point where they ignored all her texts and calls. Filled with resentment towards me, she attempted to cause trouble at my workplace, but was soon after arrested. Meanwhile, Elias and I are enjoying the best time of our lives. We travel together and cherish each other's company. In a joyful turn of events, we received the wonderful news that I'm pregnant with Elias, and we can't wait to share this news with my father-in-law and sister-in-law.
Carolina, seriously? You're totally useless as a daughter-in-law. Do you even have a clue what time is it right now? When are you gonna bother coming home, doing the chores and making dinner for me? How can you even call yourself a homemaker when all you do is lounge around the house all day? It's time to step up your game, young lady. Because if you don't, you might find yourself out on the streets sooner than you can imagine.
What are you talking about? I never claimed to be a homemaker. I have my own job and I put in a lot of effort every day to support our family. Plus, it's only 4 in the afternoon, which means I'm still in the middle of my work. Can you please be patient and wait until I get home? It won't take much longer.
Are you seriously asking your mother-in-law to wait? Wow. Talk about audacity. Your dear old mother-in-law, I'm sitting here starving and all you can think about is work? Is this all part of your master plan? First, you seduced my son. And now you're trying to starve me death so you can take over this house and become the queen bee? That's just downright repulsive. Honestly, I can't even begin to understand why my son decided to marry someone as despicable as you.
Excuse me? What's with your wild imagination? I have no clue where this whole master plan nonsense is coming from. Seriously, what did I do wrong this time? I'm just trying to get my work done because I'm drowning in job assignments at the moment. Can't you please just cut me some slack and a bit more understanding of my situation? One more thing. I'd appreciate it if you could stop bombarding my house with a gazillion calls and messages. It's pretty impolite, especially when I'm in the middle of my office trying to focus.
Seriously? Work, work, work! Is that the only excuse you've got to cover up your lack of responsibility? Spare me! I'm tired of you trying to make a big deal out of your work. Let's be real. Your earnings aren't exactly breaking the bank. In fact, they're basically loose change that wouldn't even cover the cost of a bus ticket. So, whether you work or not isn't even relevant. You should actually be thankful that I'm letting a lazy sloth like you stay here, even though you don't really bring in much to the family's income.
What are you talking about? I'm not saying that I have a skyrocketing salary, but it still means something. In fact, I still contribute a fair share of my salary towards this household's bills.
Listen up, I couldn't care less about your job or your salary. I'm simply asking about my dinner here. Is it too much to ask for a little consideration once in a while? Can you even begin to fathom how hungry I am right now?
Cynthia, I totally understand that you might need some help with cooking, but unfortunately I'm still at work. In the meantime, why not take a look in the fridge and see if you can find something to cook for yourself? There should be plenty of food there that you can use.
Hold up! Are you seriously suggesting that your mother-in-law should handle the cooking herself while you're out there doing who knows what? I don't even know if you're actually working or cheating on my son with another man.
Pardon me? Where did that accusation even come from? I want to make it clear that I am indeed working. I would never, ever cheat on Henry. In fact, the thought of doing something like that has never even crossed my mind.
No need to explain. I already know what kind of woman you are and all your dark secrets. Answer me this question. You actually dated someone else before marrying my son, didn't you?
I'm not quite sure who informed you about that, but it's true. I mean, I'm already 30 years old, so it's only natural that I've had my fair share of relationships and boyfriends before I met Henry. I really don't think we should some sort of dark secret like you just mentioned. It's just a normal part of life and there's no need to make it into a big deal.
I can't even believe that my son went ahead and married someone as filthy and reckless as you. I see you've had your fair share of boyfriends, huh? Unthinkable. You shouldn't be out there whoring yourself like that. And now I'm convinced that's how you tricked my son into marrying you, right? You cunning little wench. Honestly, I'm so grossed out by you. I should have kicked your sorry ass out of this house ages ago.
What? I can't believe you're coming at me like that with all these insults and accusations. Let's get one thing straight. I'm not whoring myself out, so please drop that nonsense. You think I tricked your son into marrying me? Wow, that's a new level of paranoia. I'm not some cunning little wench, okay? Your words are downright disrespectful, and honestly, I'm disgusted by them. Besides, don't you remember something? It was actually you who asked to crash at our place and stay with me and my husband in the first place. So I really don't think it's up to you to decide whether I get to live here or not.
Are you seriously throwing snark at your own mother-in-law now? Come home and take a look at the mess we're surrounded by. There's a mountain of dirty dishes, trash scattered all over the floor, and empty boxes spilling out of the garbage, like everywhere. I swear, I've never witnessed such a sorry excuse for cleanliness in my entire life. Who do you think you're dealing with here? Did you seriously expect me to live in this dump you call home? No way! I wouldn't even consider stepping foot into this cramped and filthy house if I had known you were such a lazy slub.
Cynthia, seriously, did you completely forget what went down last night? You conveniently decided to invite a bunch of other folks over to our place and throw a wild house party without even bothering to talk to me or my husband about it beforehand. And let me tell you, those party people nearly wrecked everything in our house. I tried my best to clean up the mess they made yesterday, but there's still a ton of work left to do. Sorry, but I gotta be real with you. I don't think I can handle something like that happening again.
Huh? Who gave you the authority to dictate what I can or can't do? Show some respect to your mother-in-law and get your butt back home to clean up this mess immediately. I can't stand living in this dump filled with trash. You catch my drift?
Honestly, I don't think we can restore the house to its former state in just a few days. It's gonna take a whole lot of time to clean up, replace the busted furniture, and maybe even repaint some walls, because apparently some geniuses thought it'd be fun to draw and spill red wine all over them.
Stop trying to shift the blame onto me because of your own incompetence. If you had cleaned up the house properly and promptly yesterday, I wouldn't be stuck living in the middle of this dumpster fire. All you seem to know is how to use work as an excuse to slack off on your duties as a wife and leave all the housework for me to handle. Why don't you step up and be more helpful by taking on your fair share of housework? It's beyond belief that I'm the one doing it all these days. Do you think I'm some kind of personal slave to take advantage of however you want?
Don't you remember something? It was actually you who made a promise to help me and my husband with the housework before moving in. So what happened? Did you have a sudden change of heart? And let's be real, you barely lift a finger when it comes to chores anyway. I end up making breakfast for the whole family before heading out to work in the morning. Then, when I finally roll back home after a long day at work, I'm greeted with a mountain of dirty dishes from your lunch escapades, and a pile of clothes a gazillion times throughout the day.
Well, maybe I did say something like that. But that was before I realized just how much weight you've packed on lately. You're practically the size of a dump truck these days. So, doing some extra housework might actually do you more good than harm. See how thoughtful I am?
Honestly, it'd be great if you could maybe cut back on the clothes changing frenzy. It's always like 10 to 12 of your outfits that need washing every single day. And some of them you only wear for a hot minute.
So what? Your retorts are simply outrageous. Stop acting all high and mighty and stay in your lane, young lady. I gotta say, I feel sorry for Henry. He must have made a seriously bad call marrying someone like you. There were clearly way better options out there for someone as good looking and talented as my son. All you seem to know how to do is take advantage of my son's hard work and blow his hard-earned cash on useless stuff. You're like a total gold digger, I'm telling you.
Excuse me, but Henry is my husband, and it's only fair that he helps out with the household finances. And let me set the record straight. I've never squandered Henry's hard-earned cash on frivolous stuff. I only use the money he gives me to cover the essential expenses for our home. Actually, have you ever thought about reevaluating your spending habits? I mean, you splash out on all these fancy, unnecessary things that just eat up your money.
What? Are you seriously blaming your own mother-in-law now? Who do you think you are to criticize me? I'm a grown woman, and you've got no business judging how I choose to spend my money. Mind your own business, you useless woman!
Look, I wouldn't even bring it up if you were using your own cash to fund your costly hobbies, but no. I know for a fact that you've been using the money that Henry sends your way, and you should really stop doing that.
What? Now you even have the nerve to call me out for using my son's money? Really? Listen up. He's my son. And it's only fair that he repays me for all the sacrifices I've made by transferring the money I need to buy my stuff. Remember, there's no such thing as spending too much on your own parents.
Can't you see that your stuff is all over the place in our house? Just a friendly reminder, our space isn't exactly ginormous, you know. And if you keep buying more things, I'm not sure we'll be able to fit it all in here.
Well, if your house is too cramped, that's on you, not me. Instead of ripping about the size of the place, why don't you hustle and earn some more dough to buy a bigger house for us to live in? If you're really working as much as you claim.
Wait, are you for real? Buying a house ain't a walk in the park. Real estate prices these days are sky high, and it costs a fortune. Besides, if we're talking about getting a house for all of us to live in, don't you think it's only fair that we all chip in our fair share?
It shouldn't fall solely on one person's shoulders, you know.
My son already takes care of the bills in this household, and it's a big responsibility. We can't put too much pressure on him, you know? So, if we're gonna dive into buying a new house, it should be on you to fork out the cash. You know what? I'm actually a pro at this house hunting business. Just hand over the money, and I'll work my magic to find us the perfect place to live.
Whoa, hold your horses, slow down there. I never even mentioned anything about buying a house, so please don't go jumping to conclusions and making decisions on your own like that.
Quit interrupting when your mother-in-law is trying to speak. Quit interrupting when your mother-in-law is trying to speak to you. It's seriously rude and disrespectful. Show some shame, will ya? Anyway, I've been thinking about these swanky penthouse apartments, luxurious mansions, or even a sweet beachfront villa. Imagine how much our lives would improve with one of those, like 1,000 times over. I'll keep you posted once I find a perfect spot. And when that time comes, I'll need you to cough up a couple $100,000 so I can seal the deal. Oh, and just to be clear, the house should be in my name since I'm the one putting in the effort to find it. Got it?
Look, Cynthia, I don't know what's going through your mind right now, but I never agreed to buy a new house, so I'm not shelling out any cash for it. Seriously, you gotta snap out of that daydream and come back to reality, alright? Let's focus on what's actually happening here.
What? You're the one who keeps complaining about our small house and my stuff cluttering it up in the first place. And now, when I finally come up with a perfect solution, which is moving to a bigger, better house, but you're just brushing it off and refusing to pay for it? Honestly, that's pretty tight-fisted and self-centered of you. You claim to be my daughter-in-law, but you can't grant a simple wish of your dear old mother-in-law? That's just plain evil. Fine, have it your way. But this isn't the end of it between us. I'll find my own ways to get that new, spacious house I desire. Just you wait and see.
Hey, Henry, are you coming home today? I don't see your mom around either. I already cooked dinner just like your mom told me to, and I've been holding off on eating, waiting for you and Cynthia to show up. But it's been hours now and you're still not home. Is everything okay? Pick up the phone so we can talk.
How dare you ask me that? I had to take my mom out to grab a bite because she was practically famished. She specifically asked you to come home and make dinner for her, but you completely ignored her. Are you trying to starve my mom or something? Seriously, I can't believe there's a daughter-in-law as heartless and cruel as you in this world.
Hold up. What are you even saying? She asked me to leave work and come home to cook for her, and it was only 4 in the afternoon back then. I can't just drop everything and rush home to whip up a meal, you know. I've got responsibilities too. Plus, if she's really that hungry, she can handle it herself. The fridge is always stocked up and ready to go. Your mom is a grown woman and she should start being more self-reliant instead of depending on me all the time. It's about time she takes care of herself, you know.
Hey, if my mom needs to cook for herself, what's your role in this household? And my mother's daughter-in-law. So naturally, you should lend a hand and take care of us, especially my mom. Are you a real woman or not? If yes, aren't you supposed to handle cooking, cleaning, laundry, and keeping the house in order? Think long and hard about it. If you can't handle these basic chores, how are you gonna take care of our future child when we have one?
Why am I always the one stuck with all the domestic chores? We're all part of this family, including you and your mom, so why can't you pitch in and help with the housework? Don't forget, I work a full-time job just like you. Sometimes I even have to put in overtime hours. There are days when I'm even busier than you, so you can't just expect me to handle everything around the house all the time.
You want me to help out with the housework? Are you joking? That's supposed to be a women's job, right? You know what? I blame you for the fact that my mom and I had to eat out today. So it's on you to take responsibility for your own shortcomings and reimburse me for what I spent for my meal.
Are you for real? You can't be this unreasonable. I actually came home on time to make dinner for you and your mom today, just like every other day. It's not my fault that your mom suddenly got super hungry in the afternoon. On the flip side, if you're not going to make it home for dinner, the least you could do is give me a heads up. I've been waiting around for hours and now the food is stone cold.
Look, I couldn't care less if you've been waiting for me for hours or even days. It's your own fault for going against me and my mom.
You know what? I feel like I hit the jackpot by dining out with my mom today. It's hands down one of the tastiest meals I've had in years since I married you. I bet if I had come home, I wouldn't have been stuck with your usual excuse for food. Seriously, your cooking is a disaster. It's time for you to step up and do something to actually improve your skills in the kitchen.
Say, no one has ever criticized my cooking before. I cook for my friends and parents all the time, and they always dig into whatever I serve them. So I don't get where you're coming from with this whole critique thing.
Oh, really? Well, maybe they've just gotten so accustomed to your cooking disasters that they can't tell good food from bad anymore. I mean, come on. You must have single-handedly obliterated their taste buds. Honestly, it's a pity for anyone who has to suffer through the garbage you create in the kitchen. Your food is so repulsive that even the thought of it makes me want to hurl.
Hey, can you please drop the whole food taunting thing? Look, I've got a lot of work at my company that demands my attention too, you know. I'm not claiming to be perfect, but I genuinely make an effort to hit up the grocery store every day and make nutritious meals for you and your mom. I think that deserves a little respect, don't you think?
Why should I respect you for dishing out meals that are worse than dog food? You know what? Dealing with your constant mistakes and arguing is just too much stress for me. I honestly don't even feel like going home and looking at your face around the house. Go ahead and devour all the trashy food you've cooked and clean up after yourself. My mom and I won't be coming home. We'll just rent a hotel and stay there for the night.
What? Why aren't you coming home tonight? What's going on? Did something happen to your car or what?
Nothing really happened. I just can't stand looking at you, and I really don't want to go back to our cramped little house and share a bed with you. It's just so gross. My mom was totally right about needing a bigger place. Both her and I need our own personal space, you know?
Wait, what? Personal space? Seriously? That sounds so off. I mean, aren't we supposed to be like totally committed as husband and wife?
What's the deal? What's the deal? Ever since my mom moved in with us, you've been a total pain. You're always bickering with her over the smallest stuff. It seriously bugs me how little respect you have for your own mother-in-law. I heard you even gave her crap for throwing a house party and buying stuff you think is unnecessary. Who do you think you are, you stupid woman? Do you even realize how much your words hurt her?
I didn't say anything out of line. She randomly throws these house parties without giving any heads up and doesn't even bother cleaning up afterwards. Guess who's left to deal with the mess? Yeah, yours truly. I'm the one who's got to face the consequences of her thoughtless actions.
Man, all you do is whine, whine, whine. Is that the one and only thing you're good at? Complaining and pointing fingers instead of owning up to your own shortcomings? Just a little reminder, it's your job to... So quit acting like a kid and start doing what you're actually responsible for.
Then how do you explain your mom's excessive spending habit? She's been using the money I sent to your bank account, isn't she? That money is supposed to be spent on our daily expenses. You can't just let her spend it so recklessly. Sooner or later, your bank account is going to dry up due to your mom's overspending habit on frivolous items.
How do you even know what my mom's been buying? Did you go snooping around her stuff? That's crossing some serious boundaries. Stealing and invading someone's privacy is totally illegal, and you could end up behind bars for that kind of stuff.
Why do I even need to snoop around to see what they are? Her stuff is literally all over the place, cluttering up the whole house. It's like living in a flipping warehouse. And you know what most of it is? It's a bunch of merch like t-shirts, hoodies, posters, mugs, and whatnot, all plastered with her favorite actor's face.
Are you gonna give my mom crap now just because she has a hobby? Like, seriously? Having a hobby is like the most normal thing ever for any regular person.
I get it, everyone has their own hobbies, but this is getting out of control. Our house is just too small to handle all her stuff, and she just doesn't know when to stop. It's like her collection is growing non-stop. Look, I don't see this conversation leading anywhere, so can you please figure out a way for me and your mom to get along? 'Cause if things don't improve, I might have to ask her to find another place to stay.
Alright, I hear you. I'll have a talk with my mom about the whole situation.
Hey, Cynthia, are you there? Can you believe what's happening at our place? We've got a whole crew of construction workers swarming in with trucks full of concrete, bricks, wood, and steel. They even dropped the bombshell that they're planning to demolish our house and put up a new one in its place. Can you imagine?
Oh, my bad. Totally slipped my mind to mention it. But yeah, those dudes are here to lend a hand in tearing down our ancient little house and putting up a fresh one. Oh, believe me, I've got some plans in mind. This time, I want to go big with a 2-story crib instead of our old single-story deal. You know, a braid and all that jazz. Gonna make sure it's way roomier than before. This way, we can all chill together without stepping on each other's toes, you know? It's like creating the ultimate harmony under one roof. Pretty sweet, right?
Hold on a sec. You're telling me you're gonna demolish our house and put up a brand new one? When did I ever agree to that? Seriously, you can't just go ahead and make such a massive decision without even consulting me. Who gave you the authority to call the shots without considering my opinion?
Asking for your approval? Don't make me laugh! My son is the owner of this house, and he's already on board with the whole plan. So, there's really no point in seeking your permission when it's already been given. Simple as that, isn't it?
What? Henry already gave the green light to this idea? Why was I left in the dark about it? Well, let's say I'm on board with your grand plan and we reconstruct the house. Who's gonna foot the bill for all the expenses?
Oh, are you seriously asking me that? Obviously, it's gonna be you shelling out the cash, so let's not play dumb here. We all know that my son, Henry, isn't exactly rolling in dough to cover such a hefty expense, right? I mean, tearing down the house and building a new one would cost a fortune. And let's face it, Henry's already got his hands full with the regular bills. We can't expect him to take on the financial burden of house reconstruction too. That'd be way too much for him to handle.
You've got to be joking. I expect Henry to foot the bill, but you want me to step in and cover the expenses? Not happening. I can't let you go ahead with such a plan. There's absolutely no way I'm gonna let you pull off that move.
Hey, seriously? You were against the idea of us getting a new house, and now you're saying we can't even fix up our tiny current house to make it more livable for everyone? What can I do to make you happy? It seems like you don't want me to live with you and your husband, do you? All you've been trying to do is waiting for the perfect time to kick me out and make me homeless, right? I can see right through your intentions, you wicked witch!
Listen, Cynthia, I'm done wasting my time arguing with you. If you won't come back and tell those construction workers to stop, then I'll have no choice but to call the police and make them stay away from my property.
Wait, what? Are you serious? You can't do that. I won't allow it. I'm your mother-in-law, so you can't just go against my orders. If you do something silly, I'm gonna make you pay a heavy price. Do you hear me? Carolina! Oh, so you finally realized you can't win and decided to back down, huh? Smart move, Carolina. Don't worry. When you get back from the hospital, you'll be greeted by a shiny new and bigger house that will comfortably accommodate all three of us and my staff.
Cynthia, seriously? You're completely bonkers. Do you even realize what you did to me yesterday? You grabbed a brick and chucked it right at me. I could have gotten seriously hurt from that. No problem.
Ha! Serves you right, you insolent little worm. Count yourself lucky that the brick missed your head and hit your back instead. I was actually aiming for your noggin, hoping to knock you out cold. Well, at least I hit you hard enough to send your sorry ass straight to the hospital.
Cynthia, you're seriously messed up. I'll never forgive you for what you did to me. You deserve to be locked up in prison for the awful crime you committed against me.
Prison? Ha! As if! What on earth are you blabbering about? I'm your mother-in-law, so there's no way you'll ever send me to that horrid place, right? Besides, my son would never let you do that. Promise me, he'd give you a good beating if you even proposed the idea. Just be a good daughter-in-law and cover the expenses for the house reconstruction once it's done. Then, we can all live together as one big happy family again.
Yeah? So what if you're my mother-in-law? That doesn't change the fact that you're a criminal and belong in prison with other people like you. And guess what? I'm not stopping there. Compensation for the physical and emotional harm you caused me. Trust me, I'll find a great lawyer to make sure you pay up a fair amount of money for your crime.
Huh? Stop with the empty threats. You know they won't work. I'm your mother-in-law. We're family. And taking legal action against your own family makes you a criminal too. You know that, right? Look, why don't you just take a deep breath? Relax and sit down with me so we can have a calm conversation? It's not that huge of a problem, is it? I mean, you're still here, alive and well. You know why? Because I held back and didn't unleash my full force when throwing that brick. All I wanted was to teach you a lesson. I bet the hit didn't even cause you much pain, just some minor scratches that aren't even worth mentioning.
I don't care how you hit me, because you shouldn't hit me at all. Save your breath, because no matter what you say, you're still going to prison for your vile crime. Finally, justice was served, and Cynthia ended up in prison for assault and battery. Not long after that, Henry and I decided to get a divorce. Thanks to my awesome lawyer, I was able to demand a substantial amount of money from Cynthia as compensation. As a result, Henry had to use all the money he received from the divorce to pay me back for what his mom owed me. Word got around the company where Henry worked, and almost everyone there knew about the awful crime his mother committed against me. They also saw how blindly he defended her during the trial. Needless to say, his co-workers pretty much gave him the cold shoulder and he had to jump from one company to another. As for me, I managed to find a fantastic new place to live. A cozy and beautiful apartment. I'm determined to turn the page and focus on my career, surrounding myself with friends and family who truly appreciate